Welcome or welcome back to my YouTube channel. In today's video, we are going to be crocheting a bouquet of flowers. But what makes this really special is the fact that this is for my future sister-in-law. So I'm very excited to get it done. So first of all, we need to open this really big package. So I ordered all of my supplies online. I use Temu a lot, especially for crochet items because it's very cheap, very affordable. And obviously this video is not sponsored by Temu. I don't think they even know me, but it's just good to put it out there that you can buy a lot of cheap yarn from there. And for all my flowers, I use a milk cotton yarn. It's just like really bright, very vibrant, and it gives the flowers a nice soft look. I definitely prefer that to using regular acrylic that you can just find in the craft shop. Anyway, here is a little bit of a haul. So we're going to start off with some floral wire. I actually didn't end up using these because they were too short, and I also did not end up using this floral foam either because it was just too soft and it did not hold my flowers up the way that I wanted. And then here we have a pack of pink yarn. I love this color so much, and this all comes in packs of 3, so I did have a lot of spare yarn. I couldn't really find where I could buy the yarn individually because it all just came in these 3 packets. Then I have some white and some yellow. This bright yellow is really pretty, and then this is the green that I'm going to be using for the stem. They sent me 2 packets. I did not order 2, but I mean, I'll always be needing extra yarn, so that's perfectly fine. And then I have this really nice lavender yarn. My favorite color is really pretty. And then there's this yellowish yarn. It's not quite cream, it's more of an off yellow, if that even is a color. And then here I have another pack of pink. They sent me an extra pink, which is perfectly fine. Like I said, I'm always in need of extra yarn, so I can't wait to use the other pink for a different project. And then I have some brown yarn as well. I love this shade. I'll tell you guys the colors, why I chose these colors in a bit, because we have a long list of flowers to make today. And I did not end up using this tanned color. I didn't really need it. And then I also got this darker purple. I feel like they both go really well together. I really enjoyed picking the colors of yarn for this project. Well, technically she picked the colors of the yarn because, you know, this is her bouquet and her favorite color is purple. And then I also got some purple wrapping paper to match, and then some wire. So I've never actually crocheted with wire before, but a lot of these flowers that I'm making in today's video, they require wire. So we're gonna be definitely stepping out of our comfort zone here. And here is a quick overview of everything that I have, and I just love new yarn. It makes me so excited to see everything, and all I do is I just see endless crochet possibilities, endless ideas. But obviously we're making flowers with all of this, but trust me, with all the spare yarn, we're gonna create something even more beautiful, like for myself. I decided to make some lunch first because I just knew that this is going to take a lot of my time and I needed the energy. So I made a homemade burger and some wedges, and I just ate that while, you know, mentally preparing myself to make all of these flowers. The first flower on the list is a sunflower, and just seeing a photo of this sunflower just made me think, is this bouquet really worth it? Like, do you not see how many petals this has? And it just looks so complicated and very time consuming, and the fact that I have to thread wire through all of these petals as well, and it just did not really sit right in my head. I was genuinely thinking of asking her if she can pick a different flower, but no, these are her favorite flowers. So she wanted a sunflower, lily, roses, peonies, daffodils, and daisies, and those are all very pretty colors, sorry, pretty flowers. And trying to incorporate everything into a bouquet really had me thinking, how am I supposed to arrange this all, and how many of each am I also supposed to do. So yeah, a lot was going through my mind, but I decided to clear my head and work with one flower at a time, and this was the sunflower. So I began just googling a few pictures just so I can get a rough idea of what I'm working with, and they are gorgeous flowers. My little brother also really loves sunflowers because he plays this game called Plants vs Zombies. Some of you probably know the game, and there's this really adorable sunflower. It has a face as well, and he wants me to crochet that for him, but it's gonna have to be a plushie. It's not gonna be a like an actual sunflower. It's going to be like a toy kind of, so that's going to be a challenge. But anyway, let's get back to this video. I was double checking the list of flowers that she wanted that my brother sent me, so yeah, this is going to be fun. Starting off with the brown yarn, I began crocheting the center of the sunflower, and obviously I followed a tutorial. A lot of the time when I crochet, I like to freehand things, but with these flowers, since they're actually something like they're real plants, I couldn't just freehand it because I didn't want it to look inaccurate or fake or anything like that. So I really took my time following a tutorial, and if you know me, you will know that I really hate tutorials because a lot of them just go really slow, and some of them don't put the steps on the screen, so you know, you can just skip ahead and follow the steps on the screen without watching them talk through the entire video. But with this sunflower one, it was a really good tutorial because it had the text on the screen, and none of the stitches were really new to me either. It's just, you know, how I use those stitches. So like I said before, I don't even know if I mentioned it actually, I will link all the tutorials that I use for today's video in the description box below, along with all of the supplies that I use as well, so you guys can also make some flowers for a special occasion. So the next day I woke up nice and early so I could get the petals done, but today was a really busy day because I booked a stall where I can sell things at. It's like this little event, so I had to bake a lot of things. So I woke up early to get the crocheting out of the way, so then, you know, I could spend the rest of the day baking and decorating things. I also crocheted a few things for the event as well. I made a couple keychains, and you'll see later, I think I recorded a little bit at the event, and right now I'm looking for the tutorial that I was using the previous day so I can continue making the rest of the petals. When making flowers, I typically use a 2.5mm crochet hook, except for my roses. For my roses, I use a 3.5 or a 4mm crochet hook because I want them to be like really full and really beautiful. But with flowers that require very intricate details, I use a 2.5mm crochet hook. And let me just tell you this right now, when I was crocheting the sunflower, my hands were actually hurting so much. They're like really sore, and my hands don't even hurt when crocheting. I know some crocheters, like, they complain about their hands hurting and everything, and some wear compression gloves to help them, you know, crochet better, but I've never really even thought of doing that for myself until today, until I crochet the sunflower. So maybe when I crochet these flowers that require a lot more intricate details, I should invest in some compression gloves because I felt like crying, honestly. It was not really the best process at all. I typically don't really like looking at screens for too long, especially when crocheting, and especially if the pattern is really repetitive. So what I did was I just wrote down all the steps that I needed to do for these larger petals, because the petals come in two layers. So you have a smaller round of petals, and then you have a larger round of petals on the back of the sunflower. So I just wrote down all the instructions. And here is everything that I baked to sell for the event. I baked some chocolate chip cookies, some brownies, some cupcakes, and yeah, that's basically it. I had really high hopes for the event, but I'll talk more about that later, and we'll go over how much money I made. I finally had all the pieces that I needed to construct my sunflowers. So I have the back of my sunflower, the actual sunflower head, which I think is really, really beautiful. I think this is the prettiest, most accurate thing that I've ever crocheted before in my life. Like, it's so, so nice and it's literally perfect. And then I also have a little leaf that I also want to attach to the sunflower. So this is a very heavy crochet piece, and usually when I make flowers I just use one floral wire, one like piece of floral wire, but I had to combine three, just so it's really strong, it's sturdy, and the sunflower won't bend and shake when it's being held or just put somewhere, you know. I just wanted it to be really, really strong. And assembling this sunflower was probably the worst part of this entire video for me. I had to bend it into this really curved shape as well, and it just felt like an engineer, honestly. I felt like I was a metal worker. It was just, yeah. Bending that wire was not the best process at all. And also, what made it even worse was the fact that I had to wind all my yarn around those three pieces of floral wire. So, yeah, that was really, really annoying. I literally texted my brother while I was making the sunflower and I told him I feel like crying because it just stressed me out so much. Half of these flowers that she wants me to incorporate into the bouquet I've never made before. No, more than half even. The only flower that I've made on the list is actually a rose. Everything else I've never made before. Yeah, I just tend to make roses or tulips, and I thought she would like those types of flowers, but her favorite flowers are very, very unique and they're very, very beautiful as well. And it just had me thinking, like, Aisha, what would your favorite flowers be? Like, if someone were to gift me flowers, what would I tell them that I liked? And I love pink tulips. I know that is so basic, but I find them so pretty, so simple. I have never really been a big fan of roses. Yeah, not really my favorite. Yeah, I guess pink tulips. So if my future husband is watching this video, you should get me pink tulips and I will love them so, so much. Sewing the back of the sunflower was a very, very tedious process. I feel like the entirety of this sunflower was tedious. It was really, really testing my patience, and it just made me even think to myself, Aisha, why do you even know how to crochet? Why do you put yourself through all of this? So, why I'm so excited for my brother to get married is that he found someone that he loves. Finding that person that you love is like the best feeling ever. I can imagine. I've never been in love before, but I can just imagine that it's the best feeling ever. You know, you have literally like your little sidekick in life, like your biggest cheerleader. You can tell them anything without the fear of being judged. You will go out of your way to make them happy and do everything for them and also compromise. And it's just such a nice dynamic to have. It's such a nice thing to have that person that you can always trust and that you will always know that is by your side. So in that regard, I'm so, so happy for him. Honestly, I just thought, like, my brother is really crazy. Like, he has a very, very unique sense of humor. He likes very specific things. So the fact that he's found that person that matches that as well, I find that so, so adorable. So and also, my entire life, I've grown up with my brothers. I've never really had a sister, but soon I'll be having an older sister, which I always smile about when I just think about it randomly. It's just so nice. And I can have a big sister to give me advice and someone that I can go and get matcha with, go on coffee dates, and all of that. I could really, really can't wait. But yeah, overall, I'm so happy for both of them that they found each other. And I hope that this love, the love that they have for each other lasts forever and ever and ever and ever and ever. But yeah, it's really cute. And I feel like this idea of giving her these forever flowers is such a beautiful idea. But I did tell him that it would be more romantic if he learnt how to crochet himself and then made the flowers for her. But he said he's too busy. But it's okay. it's the fact that he even wants to get her flowers that last forever, which is just so so sweet. Anyways, I just love, like I always like start screaming when I see something cute. But yeah, it's a very good idea. Okay, so let's get back to talking about the sunflower. As you can probably tell, I don't really know how to voice my feelings in a way that makes sense. But yeah, in short, I'm really happy for them and I hope they last forever. And, anyways, this sunflower. So, I had to kind of force this wire through the back of my sunflower through the little hole that we made previously. I know that sounds crazy, but good thing I have a video so obviously you guys can see what I'm doing. And forcing this through was so difficult. Oh my goodness. And my hands were already hurting from doing the center of the sunflower. And then now I have to force 3 pieces of wire through such a tiny hole. Yeah, that wasn't the best. But I managed to get it through off camera because you guys would have seen me stressing and struggling so much. And you guys don't need to see that because I almost threw that out of the window. But anyway, we have it all the way through. And then I just continued sewing it closed. And I also added a little bit of stuffing along the way to help it, be firm in the center. So yeah, that was really good. And then came the worst part ever. I had to wind yarn all the way around my sunflower stem, which was really difficult because I'm dealing with 3 pieces, so they kept moving and shifting. And yeah, it was really annoying, but I'm very happy with the outcome. I'll show you guys the outcome later because right now it's the next day and I am off to the event to try and sell my cupcakes and the little crochet things that I also made. So in my handbag, I packed some yarn because today I'm going to work on the pink rose, probably the easiest flower in this entire bouquet. And then I also grabbed my pair of scissors and I have some water in there too because we always have to stay hydrated. And this is what the little stall looks like. I have my cupcakes and everything on the stall, and then I began crocheting while waiting for people to come and potentially buy something. I've crocheted quite a few roses on this YouTube channel before, so I have a tutorial linked to the description box below if you guys also want to make some roses. So I used the exact same pattern.
Look at the camera. We're just noisy children instead of coming to die.
So that same night, I just wanted to show you guys the sunflower and the rose, but after I took this video, I literally went to sleep. I was so tired and I was really exhausted from the entire event. And let me just tell you guys, I didn't sell anything. I didn't sell a single thing. And it's a really long story within itself. But I think the main reason why I didn't sell anything is because it just wasn't the right market. It wasn't the right type of people that would want to buy cupcakes. Actually, when I walked inside the room, it was actually like a Sudanese event. So like everyone there was from Sudan. They had their beautiful fabrics and perfumes and jewelry and everything. They even sold their cultural food there. So then when I was just like sitting there with my very, I'd say British, I guess, cupcakes and crochet items, it's not really part of their culture, if that makes sense. So I feel like it was actually a cultural event. You guys should have seen like the entire room. So I'm just telling myself that's probably why no one bought anything. But I was really sad, honestly. But obviously everything happens for a reason, and I'm really trying to adapt that mindset that everything happens for a reason, because I stress about things a lot and I overthink things a lot. At some point, I genuinely thought I had like some kind of anxiety about certain things. But I don't think I do. I just think it's just part of me, I guess, to overanalyze, overthink, regret things. But I've gotten a lot better at not regretting things. Like, I don't regret going to the event. Now I just know that I should check the demographic of the type of people that have hosted that event, if that makes sense. So I could potentially sell more. But yeah, we'll just put that in the past. I'm really trying to adapt the mindset of everything happens for a reason, because I did pray to God and I asked Him, like, please let me sell out today. I spent so much time baking and crocheting. Please let people buy my things. But obviously, they didn't buy my things, and that's what kind of made me a little bit sad. But yeah, at the end of the day, everything happens for a reason, and God's wisdom, you will never understand why certain things happen, and you just have to trust that He has something better for you. So yeah, anyways, the next flower on the list that I was working on were peonies. I actually had no idea what these were. I had to Google it. They are beautiful though. They are so, so pretty. I love them so much. And I love the fact that my future sister-in-law knows all these flower names, because with me, I don't even know names of flowers. I just know what they look like. It's like she knows what her favorites are. And yeah, I feel like that's really, really good. But yeah, I need to be like her in that regard. So yeah, the peonies I made with this lavender color, and I also wanted to make some dark purple ones. This wasn't really my favorite process. I won't even lie to you. It's just very tiny, very intricate, very delicate actually, because I had to keep working in the front loops only, sometimes the back loops, and just finding all the stitches was kind of stressful to me. Um, I'm really not speaking very fondly about this bouquet at all, but trust me, this is just how I felt. I love the outcome, because you know when you struggle through something, then you see the outcome, you're like, all this was worth it. Like, all the hand paint was definitely worth it for the sunflower that I made. So yeah. After crocheting my lavender colored peony, I went downstairs and I put on The Lion King. That is my comfort movie. So I watched it whilst I made my dark purple peony. Good morning. This is what my entire setup looks like right now. I know everything just looks crazy, crazy messy, but I will neaten everything up later. So I'm just gonna give you guys a bit of an update. So I assembled these flowers here, the peonies. So I have the dark purple peony, and then I have my light purple peony, and I made them both yesterday. This one took like 4 hours to make, and this one took about 5. I don't even know why it took so long to make. They're not even like that bad. But yeah, they look really, really pretty. I really love the dark purple one. I feel like it really adds the contrast, because a lot of these flowers are really, really light. So the darker one just adds a lot more substance, I guess, to the bouquet. And then here I made a little daffodil. This is so cute. I did not record making the daffodil because after I made these two peonies, I really did not want to set up the camera just to crochet this daffodil. But like I said, all the patterns will be linked in the description box below. Okay, so this morning I started making some daisies. So I have 5 daisies to make. Here is the first one. How cute is this? This is so adorable. I am going to adjust the petals though, just so they lay a little bit more flat. This is what the back looks like. So I have 4 more to make. I might make some other ones in purple because my brother said that he wants like the main color of this bouquet to be purple. So I will make a couple purple daisies, I think, but I just need to think about what shade of purple. And I do need to leave the house in about an hour, so I'll take my crochet equipment with me. You guys will see why I'm leaving the house in a little bit. It's gonna be an experience. But yeah, I'm gonna make one more and then, start getting ready to leave and put my camera on the charger because right now it's literally just flashing red. But yeah, this whole setup is a mess. I was watching this true crime video as well this morning, and this is the time now. It is 9:25, so I need to start getting ready really soon. The next day, I started working on some daisies. Initially, I did want to make 5 daisies, but then when I saw the size, I was like, maybe 3 would look a little bit better. I really felt like a florist in this video, thinking about how many flowers and where to put everything. It's very fun though, so yeah. And also, I went to another event because I literally had like hundreds of cakes and cookies and brownies that were unsold. So my mom was like, okay, we're gonna have to just find somewhere and sell there. So the second event, it didn't really go that well. But I did give a lot of people my social media accounts because when they saw the things that I crocheted roses and keychains and some hair scrunchies and teddy bears as well. They wanted custom orders, so I just gave them my social media pages so they can contact me about that. But this little girl actually did buy a keychain and it was the cutest keychain ever. I'll insert a photo. I love how it turned out. So yeah, she bought that and then I sold 2 cookies and a brownie. Yeah, that's all I sold. Again, I don't think it's the right event. Or maybe that's just me trying to cope with the fact that no one bought anything. But yeah, it wasn't terrible. But we ended up giving a lot of cupcakes away for free because obviously, what would my family do with all these cakes? And I bake a lot anyway, so there's no reason for me to have all of that in the house. So I gave them away to some of the people at the store, and in return, they gave me some sweets, which was really nice. And then I also gave some to my neighbor as well. We gave her some chocolate cupcakes and some lemon cupcakes. Okay, so my future sister-in-law said that she liked lilies. Like on the list, she wanted lilies in there, but I couldn't make lilies because I didn't have the right wire, and I really didn't want to buy anything. So I was like to myself, let's educate yourself in these types of flowers and see what could substitute a lily. And then I came across these calla lilies. I hope I'm saying that right. Yeah, they're really beautiful, and I just think they'll add such a nice touch because lilies are really big, and I had the big sunflower in the bouquet, so I didn't want to take away the spotlights from the big sunflower and then add another big flower. So I decided to make these little calla lilies instead, and I think that was the best decision I've ever made. crochet wise because everything just fits together perfectly. And one thing that I've learned about making flowers is the fact that you just have to trial and error. You have to visualize things and you have to see where you want to put certain things. And I feel like I'm very good at that, especially in terms of picking colors as well. Yeah, I really love doing that. So, yeah. Assembling the calla lilies was a very easy process, but I made a mistake with my white one. As you can see here, the yellow part is sticking out from the bottom of the stem, and I was at the point where I was like, let's just leave it. But no, I want these to be perfect for her, so I ended up getting in my hair dryer and I put it on the hottest setting. And then I just began melting away at the hot glue. And then I started peeling the glue off so I could reassemble it. And it actually turned out really well. You can't even tell that I did that, which is really good. I'm going to also add a bit of lavender into the bouquet because I crocheted these a few days ago and I was gonna sell them, but they didn't sell, so I might as well just use them to add a bit more purple into the bouquet because I feel like I'm kind of losing sight of her favorite color. She wants it mostly to be purple and green. Well, green is a given because the plants, so the stems will be green anyway. But yeah, I'm gonna add a bit of lavender just to add a bit more purple. And I love this dark purple as well. I think it really adds a nice contrast to the entire bouquet. And all the flowers are done basically. And I was going to change the color of the stem, but I feel like I'll just leave it. I don't think you'll see much of it anyway when I package the flowers. So I'm going to lay out all the flowers and then show you guys. And then we will see what to do packaging wise. If you've seen my flowers on my social media pages and everything, I try my best to make it look put together, but majority of the time it doesn't look the way I want it to look. But this one needs to be perfect. Like, it's not every day you make flowers for your future sister-in-law. And then came the packaging. Guys, packaging flowers is not really my forte. I'm really, really bad at packaging them. But obviously, since this is a special occasion, I decided that, you know, Aayishah, you have to learn eventually, so you might as well learn today. And obviously, there are very, very different styles and very different techniques in terms of packaging flowers. It just depends on what vibe you want. And I actually wasn't sure what vibe I wanted, because a lot of flowers, like to assemble your bouquets, they use floral foam or styrofoam to hold your stems together, and I didn't want that look because a lot of the flowers are flat. Obviously they're 3D, but I mean I don't know how to describe it. They're like flat to the ground, and the design is more on the front, not on the top. So those 3D designs with the foam and everything would really suit like rose bouquets, because the main design is on the top of the bouquet and you hold it upwards. Hopefully I'm making sense, but I did not want that vibe with this bouquet. I wanted everything to be shown from the front. So I was looking on YouTube and I didn't really find any tutorials. So I searched on TikTok. I usually search my things on TikTok anyway, so I don't even know why I looked on YouTube. But yeah, I watched a couple of videos, but nothing really stood out to me except for some of the folding techniques. So I decided to, you know, put my phone away and we'll just try and figure something out. And it did take me a lot of time to really try and fold the paper in certain ways. And it was actually a very fun process because, like I've said, I've never done this before. So it's really fun folding all the paper in different ways and everything. And the other day, I ordered some ribbon off Temu, and this golden ribbon goes so, so well with the purple packaging. I didn't even intend to have this match because I needed the ribbon for something completely different. But yeah, it just matched it, and I really, really love how the contrasted looks. And then after lots of rearranging and arranging and tying and everything, the bouquet was done. And guys, let's just have a moment of silence for how gorgeous this bouquet is. It's stunning. I love it so much, and I love how I incorporated the purple in such a natural way. Like when someone says their favorite color is purple, please don't ever just put purple flowers together. We need the contrast, we need different heights and different textures and different styles, and I feel like I incorporated her vision so, so well. I absolutely love this bouquet so much, and you can really see the difference from my first crochet bouquet to this bouquet. Like I've been crocheting for about 2 years now, but I do it every single day non-stop, so I feel like I progress very, very quickly in terms of crochet projects. But I just love how beautiful this looks. And yeah, I'm lost for words, honestly. I held this up and I was like, Aayishah, did you just make this? I'm obsessed. It's stunning. I'm running out of words. I don't even know what to say, but it's just so, so gorgeous. As I am recording this voiceover, I sent some pictures to my older brother, and he said that they're beautiful and that she will love them so much. And I really hope she does love them. Hopefully, I encapsulated all her favorite flowers into one bouquet, and I really hope she loves them so, so much. Alright, guys, that is the end of today's video. I really, really hope you enjoyed it. It was a very long one to film, but it had so much fun learning all these different techniques and everything. And as always, I will see you in the next one.